Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to Miracle Monday. Yay! We're here to celebrate all the wonderful benefits that LifeWave patches bring to our health, to our friends, to our family. It's such a blessing, and especially this time of the year, we're able to even give more thanks because in a few days it is Thanksgiving. So, all of you that are here, we welcome you, and especially those that are new people that are coming for the first time. Let me just take that off. We welcome you to hear and listen and share as well. If you've been on the patches just a little bit, please tell us anything that you're noticing. We love to hear from new people. And all of you who have been a few months, a few years, whatever's happening, please do share what's been significant because the changes that you have really help other people to understand the depth of how the patches can work. So when we do share, just a reminder that we do not mention any disease names. We talk about symptoms. And most of us can figure out what might be happening from the symptoms when you describe them. And you want to make your shares about a minute. Let us know what was happening before you started, when you started, and then what shifts, changes, benefits you've seen, because we want to get as many people sharing as possible. And when you do want to share, there's an icon at the bottom where it says reactions, and you can raise your hand, and then I'll know to call on you. And just a disclaimer, everything that you hear today is anecdotal. We're not here to cure, treat, or cure any kind of disease or condition. And so you want to please consult with your physician before you begin. Now, for the first 15 minutes, we're going to focus on just X39 and Sellergize stories, things that have happened. So please raise your hand now. I'm gonna start calling on you. Anything that you've seen for yourself, for your family, because we want to hear all the juicy details. All right. So we will start with Jerry.
Hi, Beamy. Good morning, everybody. Guess I'll kick us off. Nobody other putting their hands up. Come on, guys. We need your hands up. Hi, Jonathan. Anyway, I had a customer that's been on the patches maybe a month and a half, and she'll tell you, clumsy. And I was talking with her yesterday at church, and she said she tripped over all these boxes. And being new to the patches, was like, oh, Jerry said. So what she went is she went and got that our X39 and she put it right on her knees. And she says, boy, that works quickly. So, yeah, she had quick results with a fall with her knee hurting real badly. No more hands. So, I'll tell about the furry friends that really get help with these patches. And there's so many. The one that I might have, I know I've talked about this, but a friend of mine, one of our teammates, her pit bull, when it was 6 months old, was stamped on by the horses. She has a small farm. So the poor dog's always been limping and in pain. She spent a lot of money at doctors for it, at veterinarians. And she had started on the patches, and I mentioned about her furry friends. And so she says, oh, she says, Jerry said, put my used patch. So she went and put her used patch underneath the collar. And she says, lo and behold, she says, it was about 4 or 5 days when she sent me this text. Look at Amigo. Amigo was 6.5 years old, 100 pounds, and running around the yard. So please help your furry friends, all of them. Even the fish story we heard on here with a lady putting it right against the fish tank. That was a good story. So, and I've heard even people putting it next to their plants in the soil. So, anything that has that infrared heat light, that'll get it going. So thanks, Mimi.
Thank you, Jerry. And wow, you hit on a lot of different ways the patch can be used. And especially, we don't really talk much about our furry friends, but it is a great way to help your pets with your used patches because if you're going to throw them away, why not put them where your pets can use them? Either, it can be the opposite side. It doesn't have to stick to their fur, and it does reinvigorate them. It helps with all kind of conditions. So thank you for sharing that. And
Mimi, can you hear me? This is Gary Wagoner. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I apologize for the interruption. I'm only signing in by phone right now, and so I can't raise my hand. Is it okay if I give a testimony?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I was selling honey at the farmer's market this summer, had extra patches to share, and I saw this older gentleman and his wife come walking from a distance. I could tell he was probably in the most pain I've ever seen anybody in my life. So I said, you guys like natural things? And they said, yes. And I said, well, would you like to try a little experiment for your husband's pain? And they said, yeah, we'll try anything. So I had her patch him on the small of his back. And I asked him to walk around and come back to me, and they didn't remember to do that. A couple of weeks later, I get a text that said, where can we get those? We love them. They really worked. And she was laughing her head off. She said, I saw something I never thought I'd see. You said to leave it on for 24 hours since it was just one patch. And he sadly took it off and the pain came back. And she said, I saw my husband digging through the trash to get that patch back and put it on again. So anywho, needless to say, they're using them now, and it's been a great success story. And so that was a really cool story that I thought would be fun to hear.
Yes, thank you. We love hearing those
Mm-hmm.
kind of stories. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lavelle.
Happy holidays, Dee and everybody. So let me see. My wife and I were out shopping the other day for a new sectional, a sofa. And the gentleman that was helping us, we started talking to him, and he's like, so this thing, see my finger right here? It won't, I can't bend my finger. I can't, no, I can't straighten it up. So we said, really? Well, we have something that can help with that. So I went to the car and I put an X39 on him, on his finger. And he calls us back the next day and says, I don't know if my mind is just playing tricks on me or, or what, but this stuff works. Can I buy a month supply of that patch? So we took a month supply back down to him yesterday, and he bought a month supply of the X39. So it helped his finger immediately. And this gentleman, he was 70 years old, and he was telling us, and he was like, I spend thousands of dollars for all kinds of stuff because I'm 70 and, he really looks good. I spend $4,000 a year for face lifts and everything. I said, well, we have something for $3 a day that I think can help with that. So that's our story. Thanks so much for letting us share, Beamy.
Of course, that's great. When you have the patches on you, like Robin says, always carry your little patch kit with you. You never know when somebody needs help, and it's great to be able to, help somebody right away like that. So thank you for sharing. Okay, Ravel.
Thank you, Beamy. It's great to be here. Just really quickly, there was first of all, I'm extremely happy to be wearing X39 every day for over 5 years now and would not go a day without it. I love the study that was shared at the Global Convention recently in Anaheim by a scientist from Finland. And she shared that after 1 week on X39, I'm sorry, no, it was 1 hour wearing X39, that the mitochondria, which produces energy in the cell, was larger versus a control subject response placebo comparison. And also after 4 weeks, instead of using the term that starts with I will say swelling reduced significantly. So, I mean, it's just an incredible technology, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, we do have a lot of science and new studies coming out that Dave is having done, and that was one of the really wonders that came out at convention because mitochondrial function is extremely important as you're getting older. That's where your energy comes from. And naturally, it starts to decline. So the fact that David is focusing on how the X39 helps to reinvigorate that, to really restart and up level that energy function is why part of the reason of why the patch is so effective. And now we have the proof to show that. So thank you for sharing that. Shannon.
Good morning. It's good to see everyone today. Hey, I just wanted to share an awesome story. This community is fantastic at these success stories, miracle stories. And a number of years ago, Dr. Barbara Jennings shared how her husband really tore up his shoulder, couldn't do a single push-up, although he had normally been doing 50 to 100 a day. So I shared that story with the gentleman who's also recently torn up his shoulder. And I said, you know what? We have this fantastic patch, use it every day. And he said, well, if it works for me, I'll be sharing this with a lot of people. So I've been phone tagging with him. He finally reaches back after 2.5 months. I said, hey, how's that shoulder working out for you? And he said, Shannon, I cannot believe it. My shoulder's 95% better. I didn't think this was possible. He said, if this continues to help me, I'm going to be telling everybody. I was like, well, why not start now? But anyhow, it's just kind of fun how this technology truly does make a difference in people's lives. And I'm so happy to be able to share it with as many people as I can.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Shannon. And, that's an important point. When people start getting results, they want to shout it from the rooftop. And they're so excited because they never consider or even think that they can get this much better. And this is how LifeWave grows organically. You can have a business, you can help other people, you can get your products paid for, you can make some extra income just for helping people feel better. So love that. Okay, Sean, you're on. If you want to unmute or we can go to Mike and come back to you.
Oh no,
Oh, there
I
you
got
are.
it. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say that yeah, I've started to order an extra pack of the X39 just to share because what I found is that you're planting those seeds whenever you have someone that's in a potential customer that's in discomfort and you run into those scenarios like like they were saying earlier about the purchasing the furniture and talking to the salesman. Anyway, so you never know. I take them with me everywhere. I know we all do, but I haven't been in the past. I haven't been purchasing extra patches just for that. And there'd be times where I would share one with the person, but I wouldn't always do it. But I mean, I've found like if people if you share it in those places and then give your business card and all that, it's like planting those seeds for the harvest, right? So and like we all say that once the person has their why or they have their personal miracle, same difference. They start talking and then they call, and then you follow up with them and they're like, yeah. So I signed up actually my first brand partner because I didn't really understand the compensation plan. So I had a lot of preferred customers, which I was making a little bit from, but getting that brand partner, especially with the new system and building those legs out, just having so my point is just to every once in a while, just go ahead and buy an extra pack of X39 just for the purpose of sharing and then watch what
Thank you.
happens. It's
Thank you.
starting. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Mike, you're up.
So I was in a car accident in 1985, and so I experienced a lot of back pain over the years. At the time, before I was wearing the patches, I was going to the chiropractor once, sometimes twice a week, just getting no lasting relief. And then I met Shunshower and she put that patch on me. And within the first 20 minutes, about 80% of my pain was gone. So I started wearing the patches and didn't even feel I needed to go to the chiropractor for the next 3 months. So I've been wearing it a little over a year now. And in that time, I've been to the chiropractor only 4 times. But what happened is in about 10 months, I started getting just a really extreme pain in that same position, that same spot. And I realized I was going through retracing, and it lasted for about 5 days. But up until then, every time I would go to bend over, I would get a sharp stabbing pain in my low back. I'd have to grab my knee to be able to support myself. But after those 5 days, that pain was gone as well. But if I'd only stayed with it for the 1 month for every year, I'd have quit about 7 months in, and I'd have missed my biggest healing.
Thank you. And that's an important also situation that can pop up is retracing, which is an incredible sign that your body is going through a deeper healing and releasing more at the cellular level. So we love to hear those kind of stories. And now your condition is better. So thanks for sharing that. Donna, come on in. If you can unmute, there you go.
This is really funny. I went to bed last night and I realized I had to.
We need you to talk louder. We can't hear you very well.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Last night I crawled in bed and I realized I had forgotten to take my SP6 off of my ankle. So I didn't want to get up and go throw it away in the garbage can. So I just took it and stuck it on my nightstand. And then this morning when I got up, I went to go make my bed up and I pulled something in my shoulder. And then every time I tried to move, like work it out or whatever, it just really hurt. So I thought, well, it can't hurt. I just took that SP6 and put it where it hurt. And it calmed it down, made it stop hurting. And I was like, oh, okay. But then after I went ahead and got in and started doing all of my patches, I took that off and put my X39 instead of putting it on the back of my neck. I usually pancake the 39, 49, and Eon on the back of my neck, and I just put it on my shoulder, and my shoulder's not hurting at all. It was just, but it was really funny. I didn't really expect it to do anything, but I thought, well, it can't hurt. So anyway, I just thought it was kind of funny. Thanks for letting me share.
Of course. Thank you. That was great. The patches always work. Okay, now we can open it up to sharing other patch stories, other patches that you've used that help. Norma.
Yeah, hi everybody. I have been on the patches a little over a year and a half, and one of my best results has been my heart. My heart used to fibrillate and palpitate and do all kinds of weird stuff, just horribly, and it got worse and worse as I got older. And so my husband and I would go on a hike and my heart would just be pounding. We'd have to stop so I wouldn't have a heart attack and rest for about a half an hour with very serious, slow, deliberate breathing, and then go home. 1 week on the patches, no more heart irregularity, racing, pounding out of my chest like I'm having a heart attack with exercise. And I am so grateful. But I think an even bigger result, I mean, that's life and death.
Yes.
As a teenager, I was diagnosed with a weak muscle disease. And I was always a weak and sickly child. And I was always searching for natural things, found lots of good things. But boy, when I started these patches, I went from feeling weak and brainless, 74 years old, feeling like 104. And just the strength coming into my body and the energy I felt this morning, I thought, Thanksgiving time. I am so thankful to David Schmidt for these patches that I have the energy of a 35-year-old instead of being a 75-year-old person. This has helped me to not only look younger, but feel younger. And just feel like as young as my kids who are in their 30s and one is in the early 40s. And it's just a miracle. This is a miracle.
Well, you
Thank
certainly
you.
have shared many miracles that happened to you, really complete life changes. I mean, the heart and that disease and the turnaround. I mean, this is the depth of healing that can happen. These kind of conditions that have plagued people for so long. So thank you for sharing all that.
Thanks.
Mary, please unmute. Mary, quite
I'm
contrary.
here.
There
Can you,
you are.
I always have a tricky time with this on the cell phone, getting it to work. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. You can't see me though, right?
No.
Oh, I'm on the phone, on my cell phone. There it is.
That's it.
Okay.
That's okay.
All
You
right, we
can
got
share.
it. All right. So I just have a couple fun stories. One is X39. Just last week, a friend of mine got them and started with her husband. Her husband always woke up at 2 in the morning for years and years and years and had to work on his computer and couldn't get back to sleep, despite herbal remedies, whatever. And the first night on X39, he slept 12 hours. The second night, 10 hours straight through. And the third night, 8 hours. And he's been sleeping really great ever since. That's like the first 3 days. And then also my husband this weekend was mountain biking and crashed and flipped over his bike and came home and said he thought he broke his ribs and he couldn't take a deep breath and he couldn't get out of the chair. And so because we can use other patches now in our stories, I didn't just put X39, I put Ice Wave and Eon all over the rib area. And that was Saturday. And Sunday, he said, I can't even feel it anymore. And today, he's going mountain biking again.
Oh my gosh.
And maybe, I don't think it was a broken rib, but it definitely was a severely bruised rib because he was really in a lot of pain. So just adding those extra couple things for inflammation, I think, bringing down inflammation along with 30. I think I put two X39s on. I did. I put two. And the next day, 24 hours later, he said he couldn't feel it anymore.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for
I'm very
sharing.
grateful for this
I'm sure
technology.
he's a super happy biker now.
Yes. Thanks so much. Okay. Bye-bye.
Sun shower.
Hi, Beamy. Hi, everybody. Good
Hi.
morning. I was at an event yesterday and people were seated. The lady next to me she kind of leaned over and she goes, I'm feeling a little faint. And she goes, this has been happening a little bit and I'm to see a certain kind of specialist or whatever. It hasn't happened yet. And I said, well, she knows that I do patches. Okay. So I said, I'd like to patch you. She goes, okay. And so I brought out an Eon from my little, my little first aid kit, sort of like a credit card holder and Eon. And so she said where she felt funny, which was higher than the C7. It was closer to her hairline. So I just had her put it there. And I've been in touch with her since. And she said, yeah, that thing seemed to help when I said, you could take it off if you're feeling a lot better and then put it back on if you feel like you need it. And she let me know when she put it back on, it helped her quite a bit. Aren't we lucky?
That's awesome. You're Johnny on the spot. Thank you. Okay, Mara Ava, if you want to unmute. And you were unmuted. Try it again. Unmute. Okay, we will go to Lavelle and we'll come back to you, Mara Ava. Lavelle, if you want to unmute, yes.
Sure,
Oh,
sure.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Go ahead.
okay.
I'll come
Sorry.
back.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mara. He's going to wait. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm in the car, so I apologize.
That's okay.
So 3 years ago this month, I broke my kneecap, and I wore a brace for 6 weeks and I put on Ice Waves and Eons and X39 on my knee for 6 weeks, and it healed perfectly. And he said in 30 years of practice, being an orthopedic doctor, he's never had anybody that hasn't had to go to physical therapy, and I did not have to go to physical therapy. So that was one story, but my knee has been acting up lately, and so I went to the orthopedic doctor, and he's thinking about surgery. It's extremely inflamed. I know I can't use a diagnosis, but it's fragile from 3 years ago, and the muscles have degenerated. But in the event, I put on, so I had 11 out of 10 pain at night, and I wear the patches during the day. So I switched up because I was in so much pain, because I exercise and walk around and do all this kind of stuff. And then I get into bed, and then my knee is, like I said, 11 out of 10. So I put 2 Eons on my knee the last 3 nights, and I've had 0 pain, 0, 0, 0. And I always wear X39 usually on the back of my neck, but I will be a life waiver forever, and I don't even have any pain during the day at all.
Thank you for sharing. And you know, the Eon at night, if you're very active during the day and you're having a knee challenge, is really good to wear at night so that you have a protocol on a patch, because you know the swelling and the inflammation can continue when you're real active. But with the Eon, while you're sleeping, that's really good to wear it at that time. So that was a good intuitive thing.
Thank you.
I'm going to jump over to Josephina because she hasn't given a testimonial, and then I'll come back if we have time. Okay, Josephina, go ahead.
Well, to kind of go along with Mary or Mara, I fell right 2 weeks before the convention, the conference in Anaheim. So it was just about a month ago, right? About a month ago. And the fall was pretty bad. I was home alone, and I thought I had broken my kneecap because I fell on the kneecap, and it hurt. And then it hurt so bad that I jumped back and I fell on my tailbone, and that hurt a lot. Ugh. And I had never had that happen before, so I was in a lot of pain. And then I fell over a box, so I kind of hurt my hip too. And I thought, oh man, at 68 and with fragile bones, I'm really doomed. So what I did is I got the patches and I wallpapered. I had never wallpapered before, but I wallpapered my butt, I wallpapered my knee, I wallpapered my hips. And when my husband came home from work, he says, "What happened?" And I told him, and he says, no, take those off and put new ones and put them all over. So I wallpapered again. Long story short, it's been a beautiful recovery because I was able to go to a conference. We had a drive for what, 5, 6 hours. With traffic, it was more than that. And I was able to sit at convention, and I didn't have to use that little donut thing. The day after I fell, I went to see the chiropractor, and he says, "What happened to you? You're a mess." I says, "I don't know if I should go to the ER and get it checked, because I don't know if it's broken." He checked it. He says, "No, it's not broken, but you messed it up pretty bad." So he very gently put things back in place. And he says, "I'm surprised you don't have any bruises, and it's not swollen." And I know it was those patches. So I feel a lot better. I couldn't bend the knee. I can now squat. I was squatting yesterday to keep checking to see, but I've been patching. Dr. Pena had mentioned in one of the meetings that he had heard from the inventor, David Schmidt, that when you have knee problems, if you put the Eon on the inside of the knee, the glutathione on the outside of the knee, and you can also put a carnosine right on the kneecap. And I've been alternating that one either on top of the kneecap or behind the leg where the kneecap is. And I've been doing that religiously just about every night. And and I noticed a big, huge difference. I can walk real well again. I can almost wear high heels again. And I'm going to keep doing that now that I hear what happens tomorrow. I'm going to keep doing that for a while because I don't want to have no residual later it coming back.
Well, we're so happy to hear your results. And, you really just put the patches to the test, putting more than normal on. But when you do have some kind of real trauma, fall, that was quite a big thing to have 3 falls. It's good that you did what you did and now you're almost completely healed. So thank you for sharing all that. And folks, we are at the bottom of the hour, so we'll have Lavelle come. Now, he's always got so many stories, so next week just come on back and you can share again. So I'm going to turn it back over to Gregory and Robin to close us out. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you, Beamy. Thank you, everyone. Beautiful job this morning, Beamy. Always amazing stories. And, hearing that last story made me think of myself as like, we don't need to go through so much trouble to get a good story, And here I am convalescing a few weeks post-op for my knee revision. I had my 3rd knee replacement. The first one did not go well. And that's what got me into LifeWave and all the rest of you too, if you don't know it. I was researching stem cells because I didn't want to go through the replacement process. And Kai Jacobson gave a call, and the rest is history. But what I wanted to share was I'm definitely getting patched up every day. Dr. Shauna comes to visit every afternoon and repatches me. And there's patches all over the place. And my physical therapist, my occupational therapist, and the nurse, they're all in awe of how fast I'm healing and getting around. And, I caught myself last week just walking without my walker. It's like, oh my goodness. I know, it's pretty wonderful. I'm ready for this to be over, but I know it's speeding up the healing. So at this really amazing time of year, thank you, Beamy, for bringing it up. It's that time to really open up to even more gratitude than ever. And the company will be sending out today, I believe, the specials for Black Friday. That'll be starting very soon. And so we are all in major gratitude to the company. And just a little invitation that you might want to do is send an email to customer service. Send it to compliance. Say thank you. This is just a good time for people to be in extra gratitude. So on our call tonight, we're going to put some time into gratitude. We have some more directors to honor. Lots going on. We will not have our call, of course, on Thursday in honor of the U.S. Thanksgiving. We will be having the rest of the calls this week, and we are here for you. We are so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for all that you contribute and, for caring for people to share. So thanks, everybody. You can unmute if you'd like to say thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you, Beamy.
Thank you, Beamy.
Thank you
Very, very much.
Thank you, Gregory.
Happy
Holiday.
Happy
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy holidays.
Thank
Yes.
you, Lavelle.
Have a great day. Thank you.
holiday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Thank
Love you
you.
guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye.
Holiday. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Hey,
Like
bye.
your love tribe.
Nice job, Mimi.
Thanksgiving.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Glad to hear you doing better, Robin.
Mhm. Synergy. Woo!
Host.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thanksgiving.